speaking to former Tobago Chamberhead and businesswoman Diane Hadad, very outspoken, and she's always here to enlighten us. Pleasant good evening to you, Miss Hadad.
Pleasant good evening to you and your listeners,
Yeah,
Mikey.
and viewers as well.
And viewers, okay,
Yeah.
outspoken, but she has been quiet for a while.
Yes, you have been. That's why I had to make sure that you're still around, my friend. You're a treasure, you know.
When you went and dragged me out of that, I was enjoying quiet, you know.
How,
I
how,
really,
how
I
could
really
you?
decided I was staying because, let's get to the interview.
Yeah, but how could you be quiet when Tobagonians are living in fear? According to the report, they are living in fear. In fact, several of them even liken the island's crime wave to the situation in Trinidad. How did beautiful Tobago get so out of control, especially with the crime situation?
Well, is it that we were sticking our heads in the sand all the time and pretending it wasn't around us? And I want to tell you, yes. Is it that we weren't doing what we were supposed to do as police officers and as officers of the law? Is it that we were just doing things superficial and surface and not deep? So that we left it and it obviously manifested into this today. But let us not stick our heads in the sand and feel that, and I mean, I can go all the way back, but you see, it comes like when you don't fix the branch from small, when the tree grows bent, there's nothing you can do to fix it when it's
Yeah, but
already like that.
the thing about it, Ms. Haddad, you cannot have people in authority flying all over the world selling Tobago as this wonderful tourist attraction, which it is, a wonderful tourist destination, winning awards and what have you. But yet, still, when people hear about the crime situation, this does not give them that sort of feeling to I need to go to Tobago. I mean, there has to be something in place that people understand that this kind of behavior will not be tolerated when it comes to protecting that of a tourist destination.
Um, Mikey, let us get to the place where, as I was speaking, when you called me today, I said, let me call, some people on the ground, really on the ground. And things have come out, which of course I knew, but I like to get some sort of reassurance that I am not just speaking on my own. So I normally would consult, depends on which topic it is. And young guys have said very clearly, the economic position of the island, they are not getting jobs. They are in construction. They will do whatever they are told to do in terms of labor. They are not able to get jobs. And so they are finding ways and means. They do have children. They are young men. They seem to have had some very active lives sexually. So they do have a number of children to take care of. But be that as it may, they are not in a position to take care of them. And therefore, they are finding alternative ways to make ends meet. Now, we have a situation here where clearly, and I think it would have come out, a lot of the money that's being spent in Tobago for whatever contracts are being given out are actually being spent back to Trinidad contractors, and they are bringing their people up here to do the jobs. Therefore, what was being taken care of, let us say, as per money being spent for the people of the island to have, let us call it, income generation, that has not been happening under this administration. So the money is going all the way back, and I think there were enough reports in the newspapers about that. And these young men have found themselves. And then the young ladies seem to like the flash, so they are all happy to live that flash life, short and hard, but that's it. And then it has gotten to the stage where it is so easy now that doing it as jobs. People are taking people out, and we could not pretend we don't know that we are having a very active drug trade. And a lot of these things have to do with non-payments. A lot of these things have to do as well, family disputes. There are so many things. I mean, some of the names that have been murdered and called, these are people whose names would have had gun robberies years ago, even with my own trucks that were held up. And they were never brought to any sort of justice. The justice system isn't functioning as it should either. So when people are not getting any sort of justice within reasonable time, then I guess it has gotten to the stage of the Wild Wild West, take the law into your own hands. And this is where it has reached, but I don't know that it is a today's story. It may have been subdued, it may have been less prevalent, it may not have had the influence of Trinidad as strongly as it has now, but it was there. And I have sat in meetings with politicians who, when you speak about it, they looked at you as though you were speaking about another place. And I guess it has just blown up now in front of everybody's face.
Yeah, but the thing about it, you're talking about people who are saying, listen, I simply want to make ends meet. And sometimes it amazes me that you have politicians who don't seem to understand that the average citizen, they don't want to drive what you're driving. They don't want to live where you're living. They simply want to take care of their family. I mean, you have men who are feeling emasculated because they simply cannot go home because they have nothing to share with their family. Now, here it is on July 9th at Central Administrative Services in Tobago, the THA Chief Secretary, Farley Augustine, said the island's tourism sector may not be able to withstand a further increase in murders and violent crime. And you're right, this did not come about overnight.
But everybody pretends that, oh, what is happening? I think today you rightfully said it. It's more like if you get up on a morning and don't see the front page with a statistic on it, that's a good morning. But every other morning it's the norm. And therefore, we have, and everybody's guilty. Everybody's guilty in their own way. Let me give you some, and this is facts. Register 110 children, Form 1, coming into high school. And only 24 parents were able to pay for the children's basic uniforms. Okay? The rest cannot afford it and have to come up with some payment plan and strategy over the period. The point I'm making, that is 22% of the parents able to probably have a plan and afford, you know. You have 78% not able to afford. And I read in the paper last week, I think it was over the weekend, where the bookstores are saying this is the highest they have ever experienced theft in the bookstores of people trying to steal, whether it's the books or the stationery or the copybooks or whatever for the children. What does that mean? What does it mean? It means that people genuinely, because it's one thing I think all parents try to provide for their children, other than food, is their book lists and their uniforms to get out to school come September morning. And that has not happened, and it doesn't look like it's happening very easily. So, and I say everybody's to blame because we have those who did wrong, we have those who saw the wrong, said nothing about the wrong. We have those who accommodate it because they sit on a fence, and we have those who speak out and get slapped down. And then probably like me decided, look, keep quiet, forget it. And then Mikey roots you out. But I'm saying we all have a part to play in terms of what has taken place in the country. We don't vote for something different or change. We vote because it's convenient to us. How do we benefit personally? We don't vote the country's benefit. And then the people who get voted in and go there do not serve the people, they serve themselves. So this is historical, it's going on, and it must have come to a crash. I also want to state that the crash is not just in Trinidad and Tobago. So it seems to be quite universal in terms of what's happening. But of course, we have to mind our business, because if home is not safe, you can't run by anybody else either.
That's right. And of course, with your background coming out from the your former head of the chamber in Tobago, now you're hearing the chambers here in Trinidad saying, time for talk done. They're saying that they have lost confidence in the measures adopted by the Ministry of National Security and Commissioner of Police Earl Christopher to curb crime across the nation. When do we start hearing people put their hands up in the air? Does it have to get so close that it has to land on your doorstep?
Well, it is interesting that the entity has made such a statement, that time for talk done, because I, in many instances, would have been told to shut up. You're talking too much. So I don't know. Time for talk done. What are they going to do? Ramage? I don't know. Come out and protest? So, you see, this is why I'm saying that each person has to take responsibility. Because did it suit me to shut up at the time because I was in charge of a particular organization and I did not want to damage my relationship with anybody? I did not want to rub the person the wrong way. I did not want to upset politicians. And what was it? So that is why I'm saying it has now come blown up in everybody's face and everybody's wondering, oh my God, when is it going to come in my door? When is it coming for me? Not recognizing that if you don't take care of the whole, and this is a statement I've used over and over, when things come crashing down, you are part of the environment, so it will fall on your head too. You are not going to just be protected because you are who you are. It does not matter. Look what happened the other night to Donald Trump in terms of an attempted assassination. I mean, these people have security all around them, whatever. He did get a graze, didn't he?
Yeah.
Right. So, half inch more, whatever, may have had a different story today. And that's what I'm speaking about when I speak to the fact that everybody has that role to play and they cannot continue. You are watching children participate in social media and the negative algorithms that they keep logging into, and they're being programmed and it's being rated as good and great, you know, and that's popular. And when you investigate even with the parents don't see a problem with it. Well, you know, that's what's trending now. So because it's trending, it's okay. So trending has nothing to do with a value system anymore as to whether it is good trending or bad trending. And therefore, we are accommodating it in all forms. And therefore, it is just the same thing that's put up on social media. The guys with the guns and the rifles and the whatever. I don't have the names. I don't deal with it. So the children are now all excited by it, and that's what brings power, and that's what brings glory. And that has been promoted. So we are not locking down. We are not treating with the things that we need to as individuals, as parents, as aunts, as uncles, as cousins, as guardians. We are giving in to all of it. And, you know, Ulla Christopher had said something that people slapped on her for when she said we needed to pray. The point of the matter is, I mean, maybe she did not put it across correctly, but we need to go back to a base where we understand the fundamentals of the environment of God and love. And therefore, maybe we would not have so much animosity and anger. But it has stemmed from the behavior of man through greed and selfishness and whatever. And this is where, and jealousy and envy, we just watch each other and that whole thing. So we send a lot of negative energies all over the place.
I agree with you. Diane, I want to thank you so much for taking time out to link with us here tonight. We will, of course, be speaking to you. I know time is limited. You have to make your move. But again, it's always a pleasure. You're very insightful and you don't mince words. So again, my good friend, stay safe. That's the first thing. Stay safe. Ensure that you don't get dengue. Clean around your surroundings.
I am good. I'm always clean around me. I'm a clean freak. And I'm good. Don't worry about it. I'm safe.
All right. Have a good one, my friend.
Okay, take care. You too. Bye-bye.